What are the 25 most iconic basketball cards of the 21st century? Starting way back at the turn of the century, the year 2000 to today, 2024, what are the 25 most iconic, not most valuable, most iconic basketball cards of the 21st century? Basketball Card Fanatic Magazine asked that question. They reached out to me to be part of a panel of experts. For whatever reason, they think I'm an expert on cards from the 21st century, and I was happy to provide my list. I put a couple of hours of thought into it, and I sent my list back to them, and it got me to thinking, I wonder what this is going to look like. Next issue of Basketball Card Fanatic Magazine is going to put together the composite list of all the experts, and we'll see how my cards stack up. Today, I'm sharing with you my list of 25 cards in order, and we'll share some pictures and we'll tell some stories. Enjoy the video. Guys, I'm holding in my hands the 50th issue of Basketball Card Fanatics Magazine, and it's the most badass cover yet. It's a compilation. It's an aggregate of all of the prior issues. Issue number 50. You're behind. You don't have the first 50 issues. Guess what? You can go buy them. You can purchase a digital copy of every single issue that's ever been created at bcfmag.com. Use the promo code Cajun and you'll save 10% on your order. While you're at it, I highly suggest a 1-year subscription. It's $120, but with the Cajun promo code, you get 10% off that as well. Who doesn't want 12 mail days of these beautiful Basketball Card Fanatics magazines? I can't wait to see who's on the cover each month. I read it cover to cover. It's a can't miss in the hobby. Tell them Cajun Cardboard sent you by using the promo code Cajun, C-A-J-U-N. Okay, as I said in the intro, this is my list of the 25 most iconic cards from the 21st century. So starting in the year 2000 to today, we'll start by just screen sharing. This is an email that I sent back. I was asked to be a part of this project with Adam Gray, who is the editor of Basketball Card Fanatic Magazine. I am a subscriber and an affiliate partner with Basketball Card Fanatic Magazine. This is going to be coming out in an upcoming issue. I don't know if it's issue 51. It might be the very next issue, issue 51. So if you want to subscribe to the magazine and see what the composite results are, I don't know what they are either. They have not been shared with me. All I know is my own personal list. And then Adam told me, I think we had like 18 out of 25 in common on our list. So at least I know I wasn't too far off. Again, listen, I am not probably the best person to ask about cards from the year 2000. I know a good bit. I lived in that world. I swam in those waters for a good bit. But as you guys know, I've sort of migrated back into the 1990s almost exclusively now, although I dabble in that the early Prism era as well. I do enjoy that as well. But this is my list. And again, it's not just the cards that I want the most or the cards that have done the best. In fact, some of these cards have nosedived, but they tell a story about the hobby. And I know some of you guys are already starting to lean in the direction. You know what I'm talking about. Let's just get to it. I'm going to share my list. These are in order from bottom to top, 25 through 1. The thing that I did not like about Adam's request was we'll just jump right to it. You'll see card number 25 on my list was the 2003 first year exquisite number pieces Jordan. So it's this card right here. Nope, sorry, I didn't pull that up. There it is. There's the card right there. Sorry, I got that out of order. The 2003 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection Number Pieces Jordan. What an absolutely fascinating card this is. It is the number pieces, so it's serial numbered 223 because Jordan was jersey number 23, although he was also 9, he was also 12, he was also 45. But 23 was the jersey that he was most remembered by, obviously a number that will go down in history. That card sold for $562,000 this month, last month. On October. It was the highest price ever paid for that card. So that's number 25 on my list. And so again, I just want to reiterate, this is not going to go in order of value, obviously, because I got a $500,000 card that is number 25 on my list. The next two, we can go ahead and get into it. Like, this was my problem with Adam. I was like, well, like, I think that the gold or the silver of a particular player belongs in here, but not necessarily the base. He's like, no, it's all or nothing. And so I had to somehow weigh, you know, like for 2012 Prism I would put the gold Kobe and the gold Steph Curry in there. But I would not put the base in there. But I didn't have a choice, and so you can see on here, I have a little note in here. When I sent this email back to Adam, I put on here, the Prism Gold Kobe Bryant, gold only, not fair rules. I hate your stupid rules, right? Same thing with Steph Curry, but you get my point. So I'm having to put on a high pop 2012 Prism base, but again, remember, the gold is a parallel of that. The silver is a parallel of that, which is also a massive card as well. So I've got the two 2012 Prisms for Curry and Kobe Bryant on there. The 2002 Upper Deck Logo Mania Auto, 1/1 Jordan. A lot of people don't even know about that card. It is a Jordan Logo Man Auto, 1/1, but that card would go in there as well. The 2007 Durant Refractor, first appearance of Kevin Durant at number 20 on the list, and I've got Kevin Durant's Exquisite RPA right after that. So I would go Topps Chrome first, and I would probably go Exquisite right just one notch above that. But I could see many people flip-flopping those, and I can see other people saying, hey, maybe the 2012 Kobe and Steph belong ahead of those are not rookies, but maybe they belong ahead of the Kevin Durant rookie card. I don't know. Durant's not exactly the most collectible dude out there. I think team hopping has a lot to do with that. And, you know, in the titles that he won them. And again, he was a huge part of it, and they probably don't win it without him, but it was really perceived as Steph's team, even though Durant did a lot of the heavy lifting. The 2013 Prism Silver Giannis, I've got this up there. This told an amazing story. It told a story of my collecting because this is the card, you know, not necessarily the silver Prism, which you see on your screen in a BGS 10 slab, which is awesome. But the card, generally speaking, the base card, I bought a lot of these. I bought probably 100 of these, and they were, you know, 30 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever. And then I graded them and I flipped them, and I made an absolute fortune. And so just like me, there are many other people in the hobby who in the years 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, bought in massive bulk quantities, raw rookie Prism cards, graded those cards. Back then, PSA was grading them at like 70% gem rate. And then we were selling those cards and making a fortune, and then we were going to rinse and repeat, and it went on for years and years. And that does tell, it is a, you know, it's a dark time of the hobby, because that's what led to the overprinting and the, you know, flipper mentality and all that we, you know, hear people complain about so much. But I also have fond memories of it because I made a bunch of money, which I'm not ashamed of doing. But those investing years turned me into a collector. So I went from an investor to a collector. Well, really a hybrid investor collector now, but collector driven in the way that my my PC is put together. So this Giannis card is definitely on my list. I think I had it at, you know, 18, 19, something like that. Next on the list would be a 2008 Topps Chrome Kobe. This is the one where Kobe's being guarded by LeBron. You guys know that card. There's a couple of 2008 cards that are going to appear on this list. The Kobe guarded by LeBron card, it needs to go on there. Those guys are going to be inextricably linked forever throughout basketball history, no doubt about that, because so much of their primes overlapped. The 2003 Exquisite Limited Logos Kobe Bryant I have on here. The Flawless Triple Logo Man LeBron, and the Exquisite Triple Logo Man LeBron Jordan Kobe. Both of those I have on here on my list, even though those are one of ones and those are just impossible to fathom cards, but they tell a story, right? And they're very unique and they're one of a kind, and so for that reason they made my list. I've got the 2003 Topps Paper LeBron somewhere in the middle. That's like, what, about 12, 13, 14, something like that. The 2003 Topps Paper LeBron. Of course, we know there's a first edition variation of that. But the Topps Paper LeBron, again, not a low pop card, but I remember in 2003, I was buying every single Topps basketball pack I could possibly find at Target. It was almost like 2021 all over again with all the people camping out to buy the stuff. But people weren't collecting basketball cards like that then, at least not in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So me and a buddy of mine who had just graduated from law school, we would just kind of sweep through the city, hit every Walmart, hit every Target, hit every convenience store that was selling Topps, and we would buy everything, man. We were buying, you know, Fleer, just random Fleer, like genuine, and I'm trying to think of some other Fleer Authentics, just really random kind of obscure products, because that 2003 year, you had so many hits. Because what you guys got to remember is it wasn't just LeBron, Wade, and Carmelo. Bosch was a chase. I know this sounds crazy. TJ Ford was a little bit of a chase. And so we didn't really know what was going to happen. We didn't even know if Darko Milicic was going to be a bust at the time. And so when you pulled a Darko, you were like, oh, I got a Darko. There's a chance. You know, you never knew. But yeah, 2003 Topps LeBron brings back tremendous memories for me, and I'm sure it does for a lot of people that were collecting back in the year 2003. 2012 Prism Gold LeBron, and you can see I put it in parentheses. I hate you for making me do this, gold only, but here it is. I've got the 2012 Prism LeBron in there. Obviously, a silver LeBron from that year would be a huge card as well, and there's the card. What a card. You're talking about a card that last sold for $571,000. Now, it has nosedived since then, and this is one of those cards that has the crazy pop report. So if we look at it, oh, gee, it's serial number to 10, but it's been graded 13 times by Beckett and PSA. There's 9 9.5s. There's a PSA 10, and there's a BGS 10. So there's 11 gems have been graded. It's almost like you're a, chump if you got a PSA 9 or a BGS 9. So every single one of these is in gem mint condition now. Presumably that is the case. Next on the list would be the Exquisite Limited Logos Jordan, which is, again, if I could pick any Jordan Exquisite card, throwing out, anything that's 1 of 1 or anything crazy like that, Exquisite Limited Logos would be the direction that I would go, and that's the card right there on your screen. Last sold for $780,000 in the year 2021. This is got an NBA Silver Diamond sticker on it, but look at that patch. Look at the design of this card. There's just something very special about these cards. The refractive foil on there, on that strip that runs across the middle. There's just something really special about these cards, and the number is juicy. It's serial number to 75. It's not too rare. It's not too common. It's just sort of that sweet spot number, and that's why those cards do massive numbers. I mean, that card sold for $780, $336, $324. Most recently, it has sold for just over $250,000. In a BGS 9.5 slab right there. It's just a really beautiful looking card. And look, it depends on how you take the picture. It looks like that's a yellow strip, almost a gold strip. But here it looks like it's a light blue. It's just a rainbow foil, I think, is really what it is. I've never held one in my hand, so I don't really know personally. I have no personal knowledge of it. But you're talking about a pretty big card right there. So after the limited logos, we go Ultimate Collection Auto 1 of 1. And this is, arguably the best Michael Jordan card in the world. It can be argued. A lot of people would argue, that some of the masterpiece 1 of 1s from Jordan's playing years in the 90s would take that title, but there are people out there who would say that this 2003 Ultimate Collection Logo Man Auto is the best Michael Jordan card in the world. It's hand serial numbered. It's a Logo Man. It's an autograph. Ultimate Collection was the creme de la creme before Exquisite sort of supplanted it and took over that top spot. Ultimate Collection has some of the biggest cards in the history of the hobby. And like I said, Exquisite kind of came in and took that to a completely different level. And just the design of this card is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, everything about this card is just is incredible. And so it obviously ranks up there as as one of the top, certainly one of the top 10 cards of the 21st century. I've got the 2023 Prism Victor Wembanyama on here, and you'll see I've got another card that's similarly situated coming right up. I can even tell you it's the 2009 Zion, because that's what marked the beginning of the end. I say it marked the beginning of the end because if we look at that Zion card right there, a card everybody should be familiar with, great design. Great looking card. Here's a problem. It's 23,000 pop in PSA 10. Yeah, 23,000. It's been a long time since I looked at that. That is crazy. It's been graded 58,820 times. You guys have got to be kidding me. 58,000 times this card's been graded. That marked my exit stage left. I'm out of here, man. I am out of here. This is only going to get worse. I am out of here. And that is when I decided to take my leave from the ultra modern world of basketball card collecting and take a time machine back to the 90s where I could sort of control, I had a better firm understanding of the pop and the potential print runs of cards, the gem rates and things like that. Things are just a lot more settled and certain back in the 90s. And so that marked the beginning of the end, not just for me, but I think for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people out there who lost millions, if you add it up. It's millions and millions and millions and probably hundreds of millions of dollars on Zion Williamson cards. And he is a good player, and he's got his issues with injuries and whatnot, but it was just a matter of printing too much too quick and too many options and too many parallels and this and that, and people have lost their ass. And so for that reason, it is an iconic card. It's an iconically bad card, although the card is really good looking. So I got Wembanyama on there for the same reason, because people are falling for the same tricks. I do think Wembanyama will probably be a more stable, more transcendent player by the time it's all said and done than Zion Williamson will be. just based on the brief 1 year and 2 weeks worth of career that I've seen from Victor. But for the same reason Zion's on there, I've got to have Victor Wembanyama on the list because, his hype as a rookie is unparalleled other than maybe by LeBron James. And it's happening in a very weird era where his cards are split between unlicensed and licensed. And so, if anything, yes, Victor Wembanyama is massively, insanely, incredibly overprinted. No question about that. But if you want the licensed versions, you can kind of pretty much weed out everything Fanatics, right? Because none of those are going to be licensed. But then you can weed out autographs on the Panini side because he's exclusive with them. So I got Victor Wembanyama's 2023 Prism card in here. And that, again, it's not because I got to run out and get one. I don't own one. I don't own a Zion Williamson card either. But this is me trying to, give my opinion on what I think are the most iconic. And iconic's a weird word. It's like basically most talked about. It could be good. It could be bad. NTRPA, Doncic Logo Man, 1 of 1 horizontal. I've got that on here. I think I did that. There it is right there. Guys, I don't know if you remember, but this is a card that at one point raw sold for $4.6 million. And then later sold right at a little over a year later, 18 months later, for $3.1 million. And that's not the same card right there, but that's a big card. That's $7 million plus in 2 sales. So that is probably the crown jewel for any Luka Doncic collector in the world. I would have to assume, again, I'm not a Luka Doncic expert, but I got to believe it's the greatest Luka Doncic card in the world, at least unless somebody proves otherwise. The 2009, Topps Chrome Steph Curry. We know about that card. We know the base card even was numbered. The refractors are numbered. The 2009 National Treasure Steph Curry sits right there. Should the Doncic Logo Man auto be ahead of the NTRPA Curry and the 2009 Topps Chrome Steph Curry? Hell yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, you can argue it. I don't know. How do you compare a 1 of 1 Logo Man that sold for $4 million to a Topps Chrome Steph Curry, PSA 8, I don't know. And that's why the word iconic, you get a little bit loose and you can kind of talk your way into or out of anything. And then the National Treasures RPA Doncic, I have that ahead of the National Treasures RPA Curry because, it's been transacted more times. It's been talked about more often. It tells a little bit more of a story. People actually chased that card. They didn't necessarily really chase the Logo Man 1 of 1. And then a lot of people have moved in and out of that 2018 National Treasures RPA Doncic card. Whether it was a good, you got in early and sold and flipped and made money, or whether you got absolutely murdered, which so many people did, almost to the same extent as Zion. Doncic cards have taken a bath, man. And then the top 2 cards, and you guys can argue about what order these should occur in, but I just don't think we can argue that these are the 2 top cards. The 2003 Exquisite LeBron RPA and the 2003 Topps Chrome RPA. Of course, the 2003 Topps Chrome rookie card. So there's LeBron's, shooting the fadeaway, number 111, 2003 Topps Chrome. And again, with this comes the gold, comes the silver, where, this card in a PSA 10 is now only a $4,000 card, but what a story this card tells. This card transacted at one point for $37,000. This was unquestionably, this card you're looking at was my worst investment in the hobby. And I just got carried away and, made some really bad decisions and bought in bulk and took a bath on it. I even made a video about it and I shared it with you guys. And the only bright side of my I think I had 30 or 40 of these. The only bright side to it was that I didn't keep holding it. I was like, I'm taking losses. So I took massive losses, flipped it into Jordan cards, which have gone massively upwards since that time. So that is the only light at the end of the tunnel as far as my story and my experience with this particular 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron base card. Right now, I think I have just the 2003 Black Refractor BGS 9.5, which is for sale, by the way. If anybody's interested, message me. You know where to find me. And then card number 1 is his RPA. Again, serial number 99. What are you going to say about it? I mean, it's first year exquisite. It's LeBron, that product that was basically created for LeBron. He was the most hyped prospect, I think, in history, even more so than Victor Wembanyama, because he came from, domestic U.S. soil. We got to watch the kid play in high school back when nobody was televising high school games on TV, and I actually sat down and watched the St. Vincent St. Mary's game and said, man, if this kid ever learns to shoot, he is going to be a freaking problem because he looks like an athletic Magic Johnson. That was my first impression of LeBron, is that this kid is an elite passer. And of course, that's obviously proven to be true. He's probably one of the 10 greatest passers that has ever lived because he can throw every pass in the book, due to his size and his ability, as athleticism, his ability to see over, his positional advantage, positional size advantage, stuff like that. But I got the exquisite RPA 1. I've got the Topps Chrome LeBron 2. And then after that, I go Doncic in reverse order. Because I think so many of us could afford the Prism Doncic, but we couldn't afford a Prism Doncic, RPA serial number 99. And then after that, it comes Steph Curry. I mean, LeBron, Doncic, Curry. We're talking about rookies. And so look at this. The first, maybe what is that? All the way up until the Topps Chrome Chalk Toss, which I skipped over. I've got the Chalk Toss in here. But the first, 9 or 10 that I have on my list are all rookie cards. And it is for that reason only. And it's no slight to Kobe, is that he just couldn't sneak in there because despite the fact that he has, some incredible cards from the 21st century, and I've got a couple of them listed on here, his 2008 Topps Chrome, his exquisite limited logos are on here, I've got Kobe on here, so it's not like I'm slighting Kobe. He just didn't have a rookie card in this era, and that's why you're going to see guys like Wembanyama and Zion. So some of these cards tell a great story. Some of them tell a terrible story for my own personal experience, but that is my list, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any cards that you would put. It's real easy to kind of, I don't know how anybody could argue that any of maybe my top 15 don't belong in the top 25. There's a great deal of arguing to be made about cards number 16 through 25 on my list or anybody's list, especially if you start talking about the order of the list. It's quite possible somebody could say that LeBron James Chalk Toss, doesn't belong at number 10. It belongs at number 25 or belongs at number 40, for God's sakes. I don't know. But I'm pretty confident the top 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards are pretty accurate. Let me know. Let me know what cards that I forgot. Let me know if there's other cards in here that you guys think I missed. I guess we'll see. The reason I'm making this video is to let you guys know if you want to purchase the Basketball Card Fanatic Magazine, I am an affiliate partner with them. Go to bcfmag.com. Buy a subscription. Just get it over with. It's $10 a month and you get a mail day and it comes. It's a collectible item. It's just great to read. I read it cover to cover every month. It only takes me about 10 minutes. It's got some great information in there, some great interviews, some great stories, and you're going to learn something every single time, just like when you click the play button on a Cajun Cardboard YouTube video. So I was happy to be a part of this project. There is no right answer, but it's going to be cool because he's going to put a composite together. I think he took the top 25 from 25 different content creators and collectors in the hobby and put it all together. And then, based on, it was weighted, based on where you had it at 1 or 25. And so we're going to see a composite, and we're going to see just how, whether I'm a lunatic or not. We'll see how my list matches up, but ain't no shame in my game. I'm happy to share the list with you guys. Like I said, I took maybe an hour and a half to put it together. If I'd have spent 10 hours, would I have changed the order? Probably, but a lot of this is amorphous. A lot of this is just, it's nebulous. It's difficult to identify what the word iconic means, because, you're balancing a $300 Zion Williamson card versus a $571,000 Michael Jordan card that nobody has. And so it's difficult. It's hard to be right and it's hard to be wrong, but it is great conversation. And so if you're interested in a Basketball Card Fanatic magazine, and I think this is the very next issue, issue number 51, believe it or not, you can subscribe to the magazine. You can buy just that issue, but I suggest just getting an annual subscription and use the promo code Cajun, CAJUN, and you will get 10% off your purchase, and you can thank me later. It is definitely the right thing to do to pick up the Basketball Card Fanatic magazine. It gives you something to do one time a month, and it's not such a bad thing to look at a print magazine instead of looking at a computer screen. Now look, if you're new and you're like, dude, old man from Louisiana, get off my screen, I just want the link. You can buy a digital subscription as well and use the promo code Cajun and still get your 10% off. If you buy a print subscription, it comes with a digital subscription. So just keep that in mind. If you buy the print, you get the digital with it. Use the promo code Cajun at checkout, CAJUN, and you're set. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about my list and how stupid I am. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.